And we're live! Hey everybody, NCS Fan 001 here. Tonight, we continue the guaranteed satisfaction, at least for me, of Powerwash Simulator 2. In terms of trophy progress, we still have to finish more burp. We also have to burp. But we have to finish more jobs. We have to own all the washers and attachments, which apparently you get like $30,000 when you beat the game. So thankfully that shouldn't be much of a problem. Apply a skin to a washer, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 more job-specific trophies. Hey, Redox. So I have no idea what job we're up to next, because it's been a few days since I played. Yeah, apparently we get a whole bunch of money once we beat the game, so buying everything will be really easy at that point. So that's good to know. Ooh, it looks like we have multiple jobs to do. Stone Circle. Let's play Stone Circle. Why not? Already impressed. Not everyone can follow coordinates. You can name 3 local power washers who can't, so you called other people here to power wash first. Fill you in that those amazing monuments in the desert turned out to be linked to an ancient aquatic race. It suddenly dawned on us that this monument out in the national park might be linked to them in some way. Okay then. Interesting theories. But I think I know what this job's trophy is. I can double check, but I think I know what we have to do here. Stand on all the pillars without touching the floor. Yep. So, got a little bit of hardcore parkour, which apparently is more difficult for me than it should be. But I hope you all had a good weekend and a good Sunday. I don't know if I have to stand on top of that one or not, but we're going to just in case. Alright, that was easy enough. Very easy trophy to start out the night. And let's see what we have for our washers. We have that one. Do we have... Alright, we'll stick with this one. Have our normal nozzles, and we have the adaptable, the soap, and the turbo. Okay, so we don't actually have the triple tip or whatever it is that we need, so we can't do that yet. That's okay, though. We can clean all those up on that scooter job, because that's probably the easiest one. Any ideas what it might be yet? This looks like it's going to be like a globe or something. Getting into some Uncharted territory here. Like, literal Uncharted the game. No, it's still too early. I'll leave you to it. Yeah, it's making me think of like an Uncharted puzzle or something, except with a lot more power washing and less combat. And no weird murderous creatures trying to eat me. Alright, this appears to be a pretty easy job overall because, I mean, we're already 5% of the way in. We're not even really having to try that much yet, so that's good. Yeah, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Mine was pretty chill overall. Didn't end up doing much anything. Didn't really play much of games either, but did do some editing and stuff like that, so... made some progress on the Call of Duty Big Red 1 video. It's really the only thing I made any real progress on, though. And then, of course, we had that shadow drop of the trophy list for the new SpongeBob game, which is exciting. It looks like it's actually going to be easier than Cosmic Shake because it doesn't look like any, no-hit boss fight trophies this time around. So that's nice. Definitely will be picking that up day 1 and streaming it day 1 for sure. Hey, sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely be playing and streaming that one on day 1. I think it comes out on the 18th. So while everyone else in the world out there is going to be streaming Call of Duty around that time, I'll be streaming SpongeBob. And possibly finishing up Powerwash at that point because, I mean, we're probably, like, close to halfway through the story at this point. It just depends on how long some of the later jobs end up being, which they might be really, really long. So I'm not sure if those... Okay, is that blue part also considered goop? That's one I'm not sure about here. I I'd be a little surprised if it is, though, because it doesn't look like graffiti, so... And it doesn't look like graffiti, so I don't think it is. Oh, no, it's not fully cleaned yet. Alright, that part's cleaned. Don't think anyone is streaming COD Black Ops 7. There might be streams of people roasting the game. Oh no, you know that there's a few Call of Duty shills out there that'll play it. There's a few of them out there. Okay, so we don't have to clean the blue squiggly line. That's just part of it. I'm sure there will be a few people out there streaming it. I know Wings of Redemption will probably be streaming it, so get to watch him cry at it, which will always be fun. I will play it at some point, but I'm sure as hell not playing it anywhere near day one, unless I find out that there's like a really screwed up trophy somewhere in it that's gonna be like impossible to get later on. Which is kind of weird. I mean, we haven't seen the trophy list yet, even though the game's only about a week and a half away from release. Maybe a little bit over a week and a half from release. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't gotten anything about that yet. But I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of the typical stuff, you know, beat the campaign in co-op, maybe have some co-op trophies for the first time since World at War. I'm sure there'll be plenty of zombies trophies, probably like half the list will be zombies. I'm sure there will be at least a few multiplayer trophies that'll probably be broken, just like they constantly are nowadays. Ain't making enough this time? I hope not. I was really hoping Battlefield 6 maybe could finally just shut them down for once. I mean, their trailers, every one of their videos and trailers now gets pretty heavily ratioed. Like, even the replacers are only getting, like, maybe half at most as likes. Maybe a little bit over half as likes. And that was a classic from back in the, like, Black Ops 2 days. Very memorable back then, but now they're just overusing it like crazy. But yeah, we got that game coming out, which I'm not excited for, but will do at some point just because I'm sure it'll go on the Call of Duty HQ list, so of course I don't really have much of a choice. We know that Dead Ops is probably back, so that's going to be terrible if they make us do anything like they did last time with Cold War. You'll have the SpongeBob game to play. I'll probably pick up Ghost of Yotai sometime next year. We're gonna have a native Fallout 76 version that's coming out in 2026 for the PS5, which I don't think is gonna have trophy auto pop, but it'd be nice if it would. They usually don't though, because it's, well, I mean, they've never had an online only, unless Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know if that one was, but I'll be a little bit surprised if we get an auto pop for that, but it would be nice if we did. I mean, I like Fallout 76, it's a way better game now, but given I've already done basically 2 full playthroughs of it, one back starting when it released, and a second one when I helped write the guide for the game, not sure I really want to have to do it all again. But we'll see whenever that comes out next year. Dead Ops Arcade 4 is going to be horrendous. I mean, maybe they'll be nice and only put in something like, you know, reach like Wave 10 or something like that. Maybe they'll be nice and do something like that, but it's also Activision, so I don't really expect them to be nice. Which, speaking of bad companies, apparently Ubisoft let Far Cry 2 go down again like a month or 2 ago, but I think it's back up now. So it went down for a while. Thankfully they fixed it again, but it's probably still very unstable, so who knows how long that one's going to keep going. That ridiculous 16-player trophy with everything else really not being all that hard to self-boost if you have multiple consoles. So that's how me and Snickle did it back in the day. Look at that, it's called Papa Back in Black. That's actually the name of the mode. I didn't hear anything about that. Now we're getting a transit-style map as well, which should be something. I mean, zombies might not be too bad. And hopefully, I mean, Black Ops 6's biggest strength was probably in the zombies, and the campaign wasn't bad either. It's just the multiplayer being so terrible. It's the same thing with Cold War. Like, the zombies was okay. The multiplayer was garbage. Campaign was fine. And then you had, of course, Dead Ops Arcade, which was not fun. Yep, probably going to be beat round 256 and beat him with 3 extra lives. Let's not give Activision any ideas. Let's not give them any sort of ideas. Not that anyone from Activision is actually watching this, but on the off chance that they are, we won't be giving them any ideas. Well, I could definitely see him doing something like that just out of spite for how badly the game's going to end up doing. I definitely see him doing it just for that reason. They're that kind of a company. Alright, the circle is mostly clean at this point. I think there's only, yep, over here. We got a few more over here. And I'm sure that there's, where is it at now? In the interior, potentially. No, it's not that dirty. A little bit right there. And clean. Ooh, we're finally getting some lore drop. Not much to learn, is there? Not gonna lie, I was at least hoping for the odd sentence here and there. I don't think our character actually talks, does he? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Still 2 ideas spring immediately to mind. Well, it definitely seems odd with these designs in the stones. Can't really give them ideas if the game's releasing in a week. True, very true, but they might not have done anything with the trophy list yet. They might not have decided on that part yet. So that's probably about the last thing they think of when they're making one of their games. I mean, I know it's probably the last thing they think of, because they've made terrible decisions with trophies in the past. Alright, Gorin, still plan to do Shadow of the Colossus for 900. No, I'm probably going to do Powerwash for 900, because it was my 700th Platinum, and it was one of my most viewed ever trophy videos. So, I think it would be a good way to do that. I think it would be a very fitting game for 900, just because I love these games. And because it did do really well on viewership, so... Of course, that was a couple of years ago, but... I think that'll end up being a good choice. Do that for 900. And how many Platinums am I at? Probably still whatever I've been at, because I haven't gotten any Platinums in a couple of months, I don't think. I mean, I've been playing this, of course, and then rest of the time I'm just playing, okay, top part's clean. The rest of the time I'm doing stuff on retro achievements. Or working on editing stuff. Just so can't believe how weird that control setup was in the Scooby-Doo game. Thank God I got it to work, though. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to actually finish the game without a GameCube controller. Which, of course, I could have acquired one if I really wanted to, but I'd rather not have to deal with all of that hassle of setting something else up. Tamagotchi Life, though, I found a way to potentially emulate that in the future. I don't think it has any achievements or anything. I think it would just be to play it for fun, but... oh boy, that'd be a lot of fun to do. Even though I couldn't find the British version, I could only find the American version that doesn't allow as much profanity, sadly. So that's a game I'm definitely excited about next year, even though I'm not going to have a Switch 2 most likely by then, unless it comes out later in the year, because I don't care enough about the Switch 2. When will I do Shadow? I don't know. I will do it at some point, but I don't know. Yeah, and it's not really a high priority because it's all single player. No multiplayer to worry about, so it's not really a high priority. And quite frankly, I'm not looking forward to that one because it is the inferior version, the PS3 version. It's not the PS4 version. PS3 version is vastly inferior. And then there's also the fact that with that game, I can't stream it, I don't think, unless... I mean, maybe it could have been my laptop in the past that wasn't working correctly with the PS3. I should probably do another test stream on that to see if I could get it to work with a new computer. Because I'd like to still be able to stream stuff on PS3 at some point again, because there are probably at least a few other games I'd like to do on there for sure. We'll see. New Lego The Goonies set? I have not. Or, actually, no, I might have. I saw it was like... The only one I saw was like an attic set that was going to be like a gift if you spent enough money on other stuff. That's the only thing I've seen for Goonies. Because I look at the Lego shop every now and then, but really I'm just waiting more for like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, see if there's any good deals then. I'm not desperate to get any new Legos right now. I have more important things to spend money on for the moment. Okay, what's he going to say this time? Idea 1, we're looking at the ancient form of floor is lava, so that's why that's a trophy. I don't think that's what we're looking at. Stand on columns and try to knock one another off their perches. Well, that's certainly an interesting theory, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I think it's going to have to do with the whole alien time travel plot from the first game. Knows what, but if I had to guess, I'd say salmon, a 30-pound salmon would knock anyone off their perch. Okay, but there's no river going through it. There's river up there, but there's no river actually going through it, so I'm not really sure what you're getting at with that one. The giant pirate ship? I saw the one that was the Black Pearl, but that was like maybe a month ago. Or at least it was the Black Pearl or it was something from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the only giant pirate ship I've looked at. Well, I think there's also a One Piece set as well that's a giant pirate ship that's coming out at some point. We're at almost 70% on this, so this job is coming along quickly. It's easy enough, nothing overly complicated. Certainly these corners might be a little bit trickier, but that's fine. I've also been playing some of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch, working on Mario Galaxy 1 for now. Get over to Galaxy 2 at some point. That's been fun, just playing that at night some. But yeah, the pirate ships I saw one for One Piece, and I saw one for, like, the Black Pearl or just Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't really look that hard on the site today or anything like that. Found a few more retro games I might want to play at some point. One of them is an absolute arcade classic that I used to play the crap out of it, like Chuck E. Cheese or wherever. And it was Arctic Thunder. It's an absolute classic old game, and there's a PS2 version of it. Now, the PS2 version of it's pretty hard, because I actually do own the PS2 version of it, and I remember it being quite challenging to win at. But I was pretty good at the one in the arcade. And trying to sell on Whatnot. Made like one sale today was a Lego Luke Skywalker figure for 19 bucks. That's not bad. At least a little bit of extra cash. I do need to make sure that there aren't any sets that are retiring that I really won't. I think I've got most of the ones that I won't, though. They're retiring quite a few of the space sets, which I actually have all but one of them. Well, no, I guess I technically didn't. I think there was also like maybe a Lego Artemis thing, but that's more of a display piece than like a playable set, so. And then I'm also glad that we changed the clocks, so with that I get an extra hour of sleep. Always nice. Always nice to have that happen, even though it's going to result in it being quite dark when I get up in the morning and go to work. And it gets dark really early at night. But we're also getting near the end of the, I guess you could say, cycle. Because it'll be, I think, a month and a half from now is when we get the shortest day of the year, so when the days start getting longer again. Hey, Layan. Fortunately, can't really buy any big sets since you've been broke lately. Yeah, I have not been feeling a need to spend money on Legos recently. Ever since I had the whole having to get my car fixed and serviced that cost way too much money. But I am making great use of my air fryer. Able to cook pretty much whatever I want in there. Except for burgers, still cook those on the grill. And actually the same with steak. If I ever, next time I get a steak, I'll just do that one on the grill as well. Because it's just better that way. The burgers especially, though, are best on the grill. It's great for chicken, it's great for sides. It's practice table for some kind of primitive parkour. I think that's probably not correct either. These were merfolk, so presumably much more flexible than us. Their omega-3 levels must have been through the roof. That's a very interesting theory. Are the mer people, like, actually a confirmed thing in this universe? I need to watch a video of the Powerwash 1 lore at some point so I can be reminded of it, because it's been so long since I played, like, that story mode. Hey, T-Jade. Just gonna need to wait for your Mercari sales. Although now I'm not spending anywhere near as much on gas or anything, which is I'm very thankful for. Alright, that's cleaned off. I wonder if hot dogs will cook reasonably well in an air fryer. Make that part of a meal at some point. That actually... Yeah, I wonder how that would be. I haven't tried that yet. I'm sure it would work fine. Alright, 84%. We're already almost done with this job, so this one was pretty quick, as to be expected. But I mean, I saw Illusion's video. Also, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 went up in price. It's now a little over $40. Oh, nice. If that's one that you're selling, unless that's one that you were trying to buy. All these games run together after enough time. There really weren't any trick-or-treaters out this year as far as I could tell. I mean, I wasn't looking at my Ring camera that much, but honestly, almost no one on our street had their lights on, so that might be why. Me and my dad just hung out and watched football and live PD. Which I was also hoping that episode would be more interesting for a Halloween episode. Like, thought someone would be doing something really stupid somewhere. And there are always some fun moments on most episodes, but nothing major. It's crazy though, it's already almost the end of the year. Only another little under 2 months left. Kinda crazy. This year has gone by rather fast, overall. Oh, selling it? Okay, nice, nice. That's a good thing. Alright, 90%. Almost done with the stones. You about could have done this one with that tri-tip nozzle, or even maybe with the adaptable one. If I hadn't have already gotten the adaptable one done on the earlier mission. There's still something... Oh, it's over here. Perfect. There's something right... Inner floor slab, it's this area. Isn't fully cleaned yet. Where's that last bit of dirt? It's on this one somewhere. Is it in the crack? Is it a dirty crack? Tee-hee. I think I'm funny sometimes. It's toward the, oh, it's probably out here. I know South Park was also on Halloween. They were doing like a marathon of a lot of Halloween episodes. And there was one in there that I literally had never seen before. I think you got yours for 27. I think I rented mine from GameFly back in the day, if I remember correctly. Sisters, and you bought some Halloween decorations at Target yesterday. Oh, nice. So I'm sure they were on discount. Hey, Cassie. I think it's the same price as Telltale Back to the Future PS4. I don't know if it'll quite get there. Be a little surprised if it goes up that much, but never know. Never know. What was I saying? Okay, there we go. But yeah, it was an episode of South Park that I swear I've never seen before. It was the Halloween episode, it's one of the old Halloween episodes, where the band Korn is like the Scooby-Doo gang, and trying to solve a mystery of ghost pirates. I swear I don't think I've ever seen that episode before, so I got to watch that for the first time. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that episode before, so... In fact, honestly, I thought that episode might have been banned or something, but I guess not. I guess it's still just 200, 201, and a couple others that are banned. The Platinum wasn't fun, especially by Telltale standards. Oh, yeah, I don't blame you on that. There's a PS4 version. Yeah, Cassie, there was a PS4 version a number of years ago at this point. I think it's delisted, so you'd have to find a disc for it. Went to 2 Targets in the first one, which is near you had no candy, but the other one had a bunch of candy. Yeah, Redox, I think that game's pretty expensive. I don't remember what I did for it. I assume that I just rented the disc back, like, around the time that it came out. At least that's my assumption. I could be wrong on that. I'd actually get this one done before my laundry's finished drying, which would be good. I mean, not that that was really any sort of a goal, but I guess it's just an arbitrary time point. Had a lot of laundry to do today, so that's drying now. The last bit of it is. Alright, get that part right there. 99%, alright, just a little bit more to go. Should only be like 3 or 4 more objects as well. And get the upper part up here, and then just the very top. There we go. I like that ding. Alright. Then what else is left? The interior of this still has a little bit left. Okay. Now the back side, I guess, probably still has, well, not a lot left down here, so just, yep, got that. Then, what about this base? Yep, there's a little bit right there. Okay, it's just the pillar. Always that last little 1% takes forever to find. And then, is it just stuck it? Yep, there it is. Okay. Probably the same thing over here. I just in like one little spot where I missed. Yep. Alright, there's only 3 things left. Ooh, yep, missed a big spot right there. And probably missed something either. Yep, okay, easy enough. And this one. Is the carving? Yep, it's the carving. Alright, that job was pretty easy. It's $40 at launch. Big candy, big size candy bags. Second time this year that the same Target still have plenty of candy. Not for over a decade. Thankfully, your Skylanders Trapped in PS4 is going up in price. It's like $90 now, up to $120. Nice. Okay, that job was pretty easy. Nothing difficult about it. Simple. Basically just a big circle. Alright, half an hour in, and we already got a trophy and a job done. Well, it doesn't look like there's much to it after all, but it looks great clean just the same. Let's go. Looked it up, and yeah, there's a PS4 version. Yep. Okay, so how many jobs have we cleared? That's 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in Muckingham. 3 in Power Falls, that's 11, 12. 13, 14, and there's my dryer. You probably can't hear it that well anymore. 15, 16. Ooh, we might not even be halfway through the game yet. Oh, it's you. Great. Love the name change. It suits you. You'll be pleased to know that you're not the only one adapting. With everything what's gone on lately, that's a typo. We're trying our hands at regenerative farming. This barn is to be our new farm shop front and center. It needs to look the part, and I know you got it covered. Don't you worry about my pooches running around, getting in the way and biting your ankles. Send everyone you could find to the dog cafe. Still need to sell your copy of Saw 2009. Heck yeah, I'm sure you can get a decent value for that. And did I start cleaning this last time? I must have. I must have started cleaning this one last time. Okay then, that's kind of a nice surprise. I probably said I was going to clean it more off-screen and then just forgot or got too busy to do so. But it looks like this is the only job we can do right now, so there's no trophies tied to it unless there's a last thing to clean, which I don't think there is for this one, but I'm going to double check. Yeah, we're good. Hey, Timothy, you're now 8 flats away from 500. Nice. You thought it was only on PS3. Yeah, released on PS4 for whatever reason. That was back when Telltale was actually like a big thing. Started the PS4 and PS5 versions of Resident Evil 4 Remake. Nice, nice. Someone lowball you, ask if you would sell it for $10. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Saw 1 was one of my earliest platinums, and it was actually rented on Gamefly back in the day. Actually really wish I had bought it. I wish I had kept a few of those other, like, old shitter games. Because I had a disc for Duck Dynasty, the game, on PS3 at one point. And then I know I had, like, a couple of Cabela's games, but I sold most of them. I rebought one of them, and that's it. That's a possibility of PS3 future streaming if I can get the streaming setup on there to work. It's a franchise that no one actually remembers, but I actually very nearly came to 100% completion of. Only missed out on a little bit. Only missed out on one game that had a weird online trophy, and then one game that I'm not going to do because there's no point, even though it is doable. Not enjoying doing revives on Battlefield 6. Oh, I'm sure you're not, Layan. Especially now that they added another 1900 in the DLC for some inexplicable reason. You had all the momentum, and then you go and F it up like that. EA, good job. Good job. Which, I mean, the game still looks like fun, but honestly, was always more of a Call of Duty person, and I'm barely even an online person anymore. Some cooperative online, sure, but that's about it. Alright, we're up to 45% already, so this is going well. About to get your hero ones justice. Just need to grind out your last trophy of 400 character items. Nice. Need to buy a copy of Transformers Devastation. Only Transformers game I ever played was Revenge of the Fallen. Well, only one that I ever actually played that had trophies. The original Transformers game, based on the original, like, 2007 movie, is actually really good, from what I remember. And it was on PS2 or Wii or something. Me and Lizard Guy played that a lot when we were younger. Just messing around in the open world, just screwing around. You have both versions of Duck Dynasty. Oh boy, that's a game. That is a game. No new trophies here right now. Been busy, been falling asleep earlier. At least he said $10 and he'd pay for shipping. Well, I guess that's something. That's a slight improvement. Even though it's not much of one, it's a very slight one. Alright, 46%. This wall's nearly cleaned. Barn door's good. Ooh, I wonder if we need to clean inside the barn. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the whole area of this. Okay, that's good. Then we got all of that up there. Might as well just do this. Go back and forth a bit. Nothing's stuck on super hard, though, this time, so might not need the soap, at least on the exterior. Which, I mean, it's just kind of annoying switching between the different nozzles like that. It only takes a second, but I'm lazy. I've been checking on your vault. Everything's looking good. That's good. Rather do bot lobbies for revives. At least you can kind of do that. At least you can get something out of that. Still, just the amount of revives is just so stupid. I don't know why they thought any of that would be a good idea. Because even if you're playing, like, religiously, you're not going to get that through any sort of natural progression, unless you literally spend, like, over 1,000 hours probably in the game. Which, I mean, I'm sure some people do. Okay. Now that we're up here, clean all the trims. Ooh, we might actually have a few stuck-on areas, so I might end up having to use the soap after all. And might have to move the scissor lift around a little bit too, so that's fine. Bad boat controls and rubber banding AI. Oh, the boat. Yep, I remember those. And then there's the fact you have to get that one trophy where you, like, have to win after not, hitting anyone else throughout the race. Which is just so incredibly stupid. Because the game is not designed for that. And I did both versions, and I did them both, especially one of them, pretty quickly, so... It's a unique game to have on the list. Not a good game to have on the list, but it's a unique one for sure. Alright, we're almost at 50%. Alright, we're up to 50%. Let's see what they're messaging us. Fellow fans of mystery, have got any juicy theories on who might have stolen the merman's gems? I would not have any idea who has done that, because I'm not really interested in thievery. Like how apparently some people stole, like, millions of dollars of stuff from the Louvre recently. I'm surprised that wasn't more, like, big news around the world. Like, I barely heard anything about it. It's like no one really cared. Maybe the French cared, but, like, no one else. Maybe they bigger over there. Maybe there was more coverage of it there, but I swear there was almost none of it over here. You know, massive heist. And most of the comments that I saw were just jokes about the Pink Panther. More so than anything else. You probably get over 1,200 if you sold the entire Skylanders collection, maybe even more than that. I mean, you probably could, but I would say, like, continue holding on to it, because it's probably only going to go up further. I feel like that's going to be like some of the old amiibos, like they're only going to keep going up in value as fewer and fewer of them are on the market. And I need to get started on some other PS5 games and PS4 games that I want to do, just so I can sort of have them done before I get the platinum in this game. So House of the Dead is a good choice for that, because neither of those are going to take super long. Goat Sim 3 will take a while, but Call of the Sea and Nubla 2 will both be fairly short, so I might try to knock out a few platinum trophies this week, in all honesty. Just to kind of get us up a little bit closer to that mark, so that when I get done with Powerwash, we're going to be right there. Because Illusion got through this game in like 28 hours playing it entirely solo. So that indicates that it's got to be a lot shorter than the previous one, because the previous one definitely felt like it took longer. I know he just rushes through things, but I mean, I'm playing the game about as fast as you can play it, if we're being honest. I mean, you can only power wash so quickly. There we go. Yeah, you can only power wash so quickly. Okay, yeah, this whole lower area is almost done. And Battlefield 6 Battle Royale DLC has the Revives trophy. Yep, which is incredibly stupid. I think the package should come later this week. Okay, that's good. Heard amiibos have been going down lately. Oh, okay, so they're actually going down in price. Well, that's kind of nice, but I don't have very many of them, so I don't care that much. Like, I don't have any that are, like, actually rare. I just have a handful that I bought back in the Wii U era. Well, you know what? Let's bring the ladder on over here. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. Okay, clean this a little trim. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to make a lot of progress up here on the roof. Doing any more grinding in Death Stranding? Okay. Been told GameStop has been trying to get rid of their extra stock. Oh, maybe I should go check out my GameStop then, because it has enough space for amiibos. I think they have some physical stuff like that. But any more Death Stranding? No, I haven't done any more Death Stranding. I really haven't had time. It's all been power wash and editing and all that kind of stuff, which, speaking of editing, with my dad here over the weekend, I was able to finally get all the rest of the content from Japan, so I can finally, officially, really get started on the Japan vlogs. They're going to be structured differently from normal. Like, it's not always just me talking immediately. It's going to have, like, later post-commentary in certain areas, as I explain things a little bit better that way. A lot of it's pictures versus actual videos, but there's also some actual videos. So they're going to take a little bit more to put together, but I'm excited for it. Can't wait to start releasing those. And it's going to be structured, like, not day by day, but it'll be like, you know, visiting this place, visiting that place, all the food I ate in this city, all the food I ate in this other city, sort of structured that way. And I'll probably try to do some of them as shorts as well, just because shorts obviously do better, typically, on YouTube nowadays. They push it so hard. Alright, up to 54%. Let's go. Leaves the House of the Dead 2 House of the Dead 2 remake. I'm not going to be playing that one yet. I'll wait for it to go on sale, like the first one does. Literally every sale, it seems to be on sale. There's no need to buy it at full price if you're going to get it later on for much cheaper anyway. Or possibly as a free game. I wouldn't be surprised if we got it as a free game at some point. The only amiibos you have are Mario, Bowser, and Peach from Mario Odyssey. Gotcha. And I'm doing it. Did the first on both PS4 and PS5. Spirit Halloween. Haven't been to a Spirit Halloween in forever. I'm not even sure. I'm sure there's some around here, but I'm just not sure where they are. I'm sure there's at least one around here, though. Probably multiple. Like Dollar Generals, they pop up everywhere out of nowhere. Or just dollar stores in general. Wish they remastered Simpsons games like Hit and Run, but they just put Simpsons on Fortnite. You don't have any amiibos. Yeah, Layan, I don't... I mean, I kind of understand why they're doing it, but it's still dumb. Simpsons Hit and Run remake or remaster would hit hard. Like, everyone would be playing that one day one. And that would hit so hard. It actually reminds me a little bit of that Driver game, as well as Driver 2. Like, I never played Driver 1, which I know that one has that absurdly hard, like, tutorial section. But me and Lizard Guy used to play Driver 2 quite a bit, and just, like, screw around in the city and just not do any of the missions or anything, just free drive. I had some fun with that back in the day, because that was like PS1 or something. Let's see if that one's got a retro achievements list. It probably does. Yeah, it probably does have retro achievements. Should ask the manager in your GameStop if they still got some Skylanders lying around. They don't carry them anymore. You're going to have to find them at retro stores or online. Oh. Well, I do actually have a retro store around here over in the mall, but I haven't been there in a while, so hopefully they're still in business. They have all sorts of just classic consoles and everything. They've got plenty of PS3 stuff as well, so... Alright, this nozzle's doing a little bit better. Or at least this level of adaptation is doing a little bit better. And 57%, so it's starting to... Well, not necessarily slow down yet, but this is a long job, so I'm a little bit surprised it hasn't gone ahead and popped up a new one yet, because usually like 50 to 60% of the way in should be getting a new job available to us. I could end up cleaning this one up to like 99% and do the last 1% on a future stream or something. Because we already... I don't think there were any trophies tied to this one, but if there were, we already got them. I don't think there were, though. I do wonder what this game would be like if you do it in co-op. If it unlocks for everyone, or if it's just for the host. Because I think there's like 4-player co-op in this game. Maybe even like 6-player co-op, which is insane. Because if you did this whole game in 6-player co-op, you could probably get done like really, really fast. You could probably get the platinum in like 10 hours at that rate. Got 6 people cleaning everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some insanely fast times on PSN profiles of people that did stuff in co-op, if it can be done that way. There are definitely people that would go for that kind of a speed run. They're at a yard sale. Oh yeah, yard sale's another option. Skylanders died out 9 years ago. Looks like eBay's your only option. Want to do the first 2 someday. Only own the Crash Skylander. Never owned any Skylanders. Never into that. And only owned a few Amiibos. Always much more of a Lego person. Okay, that part's cleaned. Now, underneath is good. Yeah, this is washing in pretty, like, wide swaths, so... Ooh, okay. The Merman's Missing Gems. Exactly who it was. Peter Wrangler, 38 Acacia Avenue. This person's a thief, you're saying? He's always moaning about the merman. He owns the angle grinder, or an angle grinder, I know, because he's always putting bricks in his yard. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, right? This does take place in the U.S., so it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Keyword supposed to be. It's also a very different version of the U.S. that nearly had a super volcano go off and did in an alternate timeline, but the power of power washing saved the world from it, so it's that kind of a universe. Which I do think it's a little bit funny they would set this in America, because this is a British company that made it, I'm pretty sure. They use, like, British wording and stuff and spelling of things. And we're over 60%, so that's good. Come on, I need some dings. We haven't heard any dings in a while. 5 out of 6 Skylanders games are obtainable. Earth Swap Force had one online trophy of reading a sign and it no longer works. That's so dumb. I hate when it's just like one thing like that. Because the stupid thing is, that's what prevents me from finishing the Cabela's franchise, is a trophy like that, where it's like, you have to post 20 pictures to Facebook or something in-game, because that used to be an integrated thing on the PS3. And you just have to post like 20 pictures. And that one's been unobtainable for a very long time, since long before they cut out the ability to even have Facebook connectivity to the PS3. And therefore, I can't do that particular Cabela's game, which means I can't do the rest of which means I can't finish the franchise. And that would have been a really unique franchise to have done, because I highly doubt anyone out there has actually done all of them. Because I did do the other one that had online, because there was another one that had an actual 4-player online mode, as bizarre as that sounds. It wasn't, obviously, hunting each other, but it was like a score-based mode against other players. It was weird. Ended up boosting it many years ago and got it before they shut it down. I think there might actually be one other one that's now unobtainable as well. Yeah, I hate when it's like that, or when they take something off the store, like they did with Ride to Hell Retribution's DLC. A big part of me just doesn't want to spend, you know, $40, including shipping and everything, to get a copy of the game from Germany in hopes that it has the code for the DLC in it. This is not even a hard platinum or DLC. It's just one I'd like to play because it's so god-awful. Make for interesting content if I did. I'm sure that no one's doing a modern-day trophy video on Ride to Hell Retribution. Been thinking of doing Skylanders and LEGO Dimensions. I mean, I don't really want to spend the money on everything you need for LEGO Dimensions, even though we think we're finding workarounds to it that might make some of it cheaper. And if there are cheaper ways to do it, then I'm more willing to consider it. Like, I don't mind buying the base plate set, just because it's unique. And it might come with the game, it might not, but it's not horrendously overpriced like some of the individual DLC sets are. Yeah, and I'm an adult. I gotta be an adult and spend money on adult things. See what our bonuses are this year. Hopefully, I know that this company's actually supposed to give us bonuses, unlike the previous one that said we don't give bonuses because not everyone celebrates Christmas. That was their excuse. I mean, by that point, I'd already kind of checked out, and we all know that story, though. It's crazy. It's been almost a year. It's been 10 months since I left that shithole job. It's kind of hilarious, actually. And we fell off. Okay, ladder. We're bringing you over here now. Ooh, yep. Lots to get under here that I've missed. Okay, that's cleaned. I don't think we're going to need to get every single speck on this roof, thankfully. If we do, I might cry a little bit. Even though that's more like how the first game was anyway. I think one day you'll do LEGO Dimensions. Army up to the 40th day, you had to make a mask online. Yep, that's another one. Or like Hasbro Family Game Night, one of the unobtainables on my list, where you just had to play a single game online, but it shut down without notice, and because of that, no one ever had the guide updated at the time, so I didn't know when I purchased it, or else I wouldn't have bought the game and played it. Wouldn't have an unobtainable on the profile then. Well, I mean, I would still have unobtainables thanks to Homefront and Uncharted 3. At least that would have been, that was by far the most avoidable one. And I'm sure that there's others, too. Like, I remember The Last of Us had a trophy like that in Left Behind, where you had to upload a photo from the photo booth. In the Left Behind DLC, I still remember that being a thing. Weird though, thinking back to some of that weird shit we saw on PS3. Alright, that's all cleaned, and the roof is pretty close now, not much more on it. A spot right over here we can get, and we fall off. That little area, the rest of this little gutter. I don't know what's missing in the gutter. They say invest in stocks and use that to buy what you want. There's a lot of stuff you need to invest in. Pokemon trainer boxes. But I was pissed. For Hasbro Family Game Night, I mean, yeah, I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but I wouldn't say I was, like, pissed, because they're virtual trophies that go on my virtual wall in order to show my virtual friends and family virtual success. They're just trophies. They're not exactly the most important thing in the world. It was unfortunate, sure, but again, like, no chance I could have a 100% account anyway because of other games on my list that I never would have had a chance of finishing because I didn't care enough at the time to do them. That was the case with the original Homefront. I wasn't big enough into trophy hunting at the time to care about trying to go in and finish the game before they shut down the servers, which I think that game had almost no notice. If I remember correctly, they had, like, literally no notice on that one. And I got other ones done at the last second, like Killzone. Well, Killzone 3 specifically, I got done at the last second. I mean, not quite last second, but pretty close to the end of that game's lifespan. And there's a little bit on top of here. Yep, got it. That window's good. Sure, there's a little bit more in this crack area, maybe around the side. And start scrubbing the outside of this wall. It's currently Pokemon card collectors spend the money on that stuff like they're in a casino, and there's a lot of people in that community that wouldn't mind spending 100 to 1,000 for a chance of pulling stuff. True. 99% of trophy hunters don't have... I mean, almost no one has a 100% account. You pretty much have to plan that out from the beginning and just not play, you know, online games for the most part, unless you know you're going to get them done very quickly. And even then, you can still get screwed over by random things, like, say, you had a 100% account and then you decided to play Concord day one because you thought it would make for a unique completion to have on your profile. And then it shuts down after a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever. So unless you, like, meticulously plan it and play a lot of bad games, you're probably never going to be able to have one. And that's okay. I've settled on the fact that I will never have a 100% account. I settled on that a long time ago. Sure, it'd be cool, but I have a lot of really good completions on my profile, especially from back in the PS3 era, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. I mean, I've got broken mess of games like the Saul games and Mercenaries 2. I've got Killzone 2. Got Red Dead 1. Got Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Some weird completions on there. Alright, gutter. You need to clean a little bit faster, potentially. I got COD Classic on there. Hell, I've got, like, all the Call of Duty games for the most part. I've got Black Ops 2 on there. And a lot of other Call of Duty games since then. Okay, gutter's done. Well, that part of the gutter is, at least, not the upper part. In Japan, they use, like, chains, actually, as their gutter pipes, which is really cool. It makes a lot of sense. Because they don't get clogged up or anything like that. They're more unique looking. I saw that in a few places over there. You know you don't, because whenever there's a gold rush, you better sell shovels, true. Either because of unobtainable trophies and or have single-player trophies that are super difficult. I think more often than not it's broken because of unobtainable trophies for a lot of people, but other people, most people just don't really care about the idea of a 100% account. Yeah, it'd be cool to have, but I mean, it's not really that big a deal. I mean, hell, I don't know how hard Shadow of the Colossus is going to end up being. I don't know how it stacks up to COD Classic in terms of true difficulty. Or Killzone 2. Killzone 2 is hard due to a combination of the online that you had to do, but you could boost it. You could boost all of it, for that matter. And for the Elite mode in Campaign being one of the more brutal, hard difficulties out there. But then with Shadow of the Colossus, you've got hard time attack, which looks like it's going to be absolutely insane, partially because the PS3 version doesn't play that well compared to some versions of the game. And we got to clean the top of this window as well. Jump. Alright. This whole thing should... Is there actually more? Yep. I get the whole underside of the gutter while I'm down here. Make things easier. Alright, so that's most everything that I can get from the ground. 2/3 of the way through the job, so that's good. Let's get back up top. The roof is somehow still not good, nor is the gutter. Somehow. And... come on now, where is this remaining mystical dirt you speak of? So I don't really see anything else in the gutter itself that I can clean. A little bit on the wall there. If I could stop falling off, that'd be great. Oh, there is a little bit on the underside, so let's run it straight down through here. Yep, there we go. Got it. Yeah, I don't really see any places to clean on this area, so... I'm sure I'm still missing a few, but... not a whole lot sticking out to me. Oh, wait, there's some. And a little bit more right there. This is literally going to make me try to get almost every single speck of dirt up here. Possibly also right here, right on the trim. Well, let's just clean the next area now. Just being the one selling off Pokemon booster packs is better since you don't have to worry about not being able to pull the expensive card, true. Not like you're going to have 100% either. Got 3 unobtainable platinums in some games you'll probably never 100%, mostly COD games. And you could still finish most of the COD games. The only one that's completely unobtainable is Black Ops 2. Of course, I still wouldn't want to start most of the other ones due to some of the multiplayer, co-op, and stuff like that. Now, let's see if we get a new bit of lore at 70%. Come on, we get any new lore here at 70%. Looks like the roofs are going to be a majority of what we have left, though. I just have to suds up the entire other side. Okay, yep, we're getting lore. Let's see what they say. Hate to break it to you, Cuddy, but don't think it was Pete. Do you have any proof of that? According to press release, the merman was guarded 24/7 by state-of-the-art security force. No way an average Joe could do it. So it would have had to be done by a professional. Or paid off security, which is probably what happened at the Louvre. Got someone with access to Sponge Valley Tech, Blake Thrust. I thought he died in the last game. I thought they sent him flying into the volcano. Wasn't that a part of the previous game? Oh, he just disappeared. Okay, then. If he only disappeared, then maybe. Yeah, because I thought he died. I thought they shot him into the volcano at the end of the last game. Maybe not. Maybe he just disappeared. Got lost in time or something. The fact that this game has lore and story like that and all in it is quite surprising, but entertaining. Alright, that little area is cleaned. That thing, we'll get the rest of it later, or I guess we can get some of it now, because I fell onto it, so let's at least get the wall back here done, at least as much of it as we can. And down there. And get this side of the wall. And this job is taking a while, so... Right, a few more spots up here. And what's left on the wall itself. Okay, that's done. That's done. That part's good. Get the interior here. And get that area. Spray that as well. Alright, that windowsill's almost clean. The rarest Pokemon card from the English deck with a perfect grading is worth $262,000. Damn. That's insane. Have to hope PSA grades at 10, which is improbable to happen. Rush out of the bag doesn't even guarantee perfect grade. GTA 5, never 100%. Elitist really is not that hard. Like, Elitist, I would say, is really not that bad. Criminal Mastermind, for sure, I understand that one because I'm probably not going to ever get it done either. But Elitist really is not all that bad. Like, Elitist didn't take that long for us to get. If you have somewhat of a competent team, it shouldn't cause you too many problems. Yeah, that one ended up not being insanely bad. It was really just Criminal Mastermind that was the problem. And me not having the patience to go for it again after getting screwed over the first time. Hey, Wayer T. Glad to see him back doing trophies. Watch both this and RA, but connect more with this. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I love Retro Achievements so far. I've had a lot of fun working on games on there so far, outside of a handful of very challenging moments. So far, it's been a very fun experience, and I've got plenty more games I want to do on there. Weather Vane is close at this point. I think it's just this ball on the bottom that needs more. And we're up to 72%. I think it's just the other side back here where that giant tower of scaffolding is. And then I wonder what job will be next, because I'd love to get a few more trophies unlocked tonight if at all possible. I've only gotten one so far, and it was a very easy one for that first job. Yeah, the retro achievement stuff is a lot of fun. Just something different, getting to go back and play some of these classic games that I grew up on. We're going to have a new SpongeBob game to be playing here in a couple of weeks, which is exciting. I've said before, that's a definite day one purchase for me. I haven't heard of it having any special editions, though, which is kind of unfortunate, because both Cosmic Shake and Battle for Bikini Bottom had them. And then once Retro Achievements has, well, now they have Wii support, so I'm going to start seeing a lot more Wii games on there, which is exciting, because Wii had a lot of shovelware on it, for one. There was a ton of shovelware for that console that could make for interesting videos at times in the future, if I ever decide to play any of it. And a lot of just hidden gems. Finally get Wii Sports, get a Platinum Trophy in Wii Sports, or effectively a Platinum Trophy in Wii Sports, though I'm sure it'll be like get the Platinum Medal on all 15 sports, and after watching Professor do it for years now and still not have it done, I don't know how I feel about trying to go for that one. That could be quite challenging. No, I wasn't bad at Wii Sports. I was never anywhere near any level of skill, really. Not any major level of skill, at least. Or something for Brawl with Subspace Emissary. Still such a great game mode. It'd be a fun one for me and Lizard Guy to play together. So I think that's the only one that actually has a co-op campaign in that franchise for some reason. I'm sure that Melee has a retro achievement list, but I've never really looked at it because I didn't grow up as much on Melee as I did on Brawl. Ooh, there's a little spot right there. Still doesn't have this lower roof to 100%, but that did help a little bit. That part. Go down this side. 75%. Let's go. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to get every little spot up here, which is kind of annoying, unfortunately. Yeah, with retro achievements, we got to finish up the Scooby-Doo game, and we got to finish up, which the Scooby-Doo game is really just 100%ing the game, and we're fairly close to being done. The rest of it is just the Clock Tower game in terms of stuff that's incomplete, which is, of course, going to be something I probably don't stream a whole lot of. Just because, I mean, the streams didn't do particularly well, and you really have to be apparently following very carefully along with a guide for a lot of stuff because of how janky the game is. Not as easy to figure out the way that the original Clock Tower kind of was, or at least the Rewind was. And then it just really didn't pull in that many views, so not super important to me. I have other ones I want to do next, like SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Should be fun. Yeah, Lego Batman at some point, the original Lego Batman. Probably need to do that one. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, which is probably not going to be a fun experience, but it's one that I have to do because, I mean, I've done every other Fallout game at this point. So why not also play that miserable experience of a game and finally experience it, call myself a true Fallout fan by finally playing an old one like that. Which at some point I still need to, probably like around the time that Season 2 of the show releases, going to do several Fallout-based streams, including maybe one for like Fallout 1 and 2, now that I can actually play them on my computer. would be a lot of fun to do because, I mean, it's never something I've done before. Never really played those ones. Never played Fallout 2 at all. Fallout 1 I played maybe like 10 minutes of because that's about as far as I could ever get it to work in the past, but now I have the ability to make it work a lot better. And nothing right there. Oh, there's a spot. There's a spot. Okay, there's a spot. Right under here. Perfect. The roof of this thing isn't clean yet somehow. I need to jump up top, actually. Yep, there's still several spots up here that weren't clean. That's fine. Not really sure what I'm missing on these other parts of the roof, though. I feel like I've cleaned them pretty well at this point. Unless this also counts as kind of a connector. Nope, it's clean, so it's a separate piece. And we're at 76% now, so it's starting to slow down a lot. This job seemed like it was going so fast at first, but now it's taking a lot longer. Okay, so yeah, this whole area over here should be good now. I don't really think there's anything else over here that could need anything. This, yeah, it's good. And get the upper part. And the lower parts. Get a good view from up here. A couple spots. Yeah, I mean, I really don't see what else I could be missing on these two parts of the roof. Feels like we've cleaned about all of it, unless... Is that something? No, I thought I saw it. Oh, there's a spot. These rooftops are not going to be a fun time, apparently. They're going to be very, very picky with what they want on these. Which is unfortunate, because so far the game hasn't really been that level of strict on a lot of these. I may just end up having to soap... Oh, there's a little bit. Yeah, I may just end up having to, like, soap up a whole bunch of it and hope that we find it that way. So, yeah, I'm now spamming the button just trying to see what I could have missed from this side. But no, there's nothing show... Oh, wait, there's a spot. And there's a spot. There's a little bit, but yeah, it's weird for this game to randomly demand absolute perfection out of nowhere, when it really hasn't so far. So we're probably just going to need to use soap. Some are very hard and I have no idea why you played them on your main. Well, the good thing with retro achievements is you can delete achievement progress on any game, even if you've already finished it. Which is really, really nice. Like, if only they'd let us do that on PlayStation. So I could at least delete a couple of games that I had hidden that I had never intended to have on my profile in the first place. And if I ever wanted to have 100% profile, I technically could at that point. But then I wouldn't have, you know, Uncharted 3's Platinum, and I can't have every Uncharted Platinum at that point. And I would consider deleting, like, Hasbro Family Game Night, but I don't know if I would delete Homefront, and I wouldn't delete Uncharted 3. So I'm still proud of how much I did get done in Homefront back in the day, because that was a rather challenging Platinum. Or at least an extremely time-consuming, grindy one. Now, maybe you could have self-boosted a lot of it back in the day if you had multiple consoles, but honestly, who knows? And almost no one ever got that Platinum anyway, so it's not shameful to not have it done. It's just a very good rarity if you were able to get it done. Alright, so that upper area should be, yep, it's good. I think that little tower right there is good as well, so almost at 80%. And if you want to go ahead and reveal another job to me, though, I would not be mad about that. So I can come back and finish this one off stream at this rate if needed. This one's taken quite a while. 80%. What's happening now? Also, guys, I don't care who stole them, only who gets them back. They were priceless, not to mention inexplicable scientifically. Still have no idea how they work. And now this side of the roof. Oh, I don't know if you guys remember that old game on PS3 and 360 called I Am Alive. It plays sort of like an Uncharted game, but with a lot more survival mechanics to it. And, like, extremely limited supplies and stuff. Apparently, someone, I guess, bought the rights to it, maybe? And, like, wants to bring that game and several others onto modern gen, which is pretty crazy. I would not be against that, because that was actually, in my opinion, a pretty underrated game. I wonder if the sides are what is holding me up here. So yeah, I saw that recently. I keep forgetting to bring it up, but that's a very interesting choice, and I am not mad about that in the slightest, because, as I said, that game was actually really, really underrated in my opinion. You've heard of it? Yeah, look it up. It's actually a surprisingly fun game. Because it's like Uncharted very heavily with its movement and stuff, but extremely limited supplies in a post-apocalyptic world. And I think that there's a few other games that they also gave up that are hopefully going to be brought over, but I'm not sure exactly which ones they are. So many old games. Just imagine when Retro Achievements eventually, like, gets probably to PS3 games. Just imagine the kind of stuff we're going to get from that, the kind of trophy list we're going to be able to get from that. They could probably make something like Magus have an extremely hard platinum now, if they wanted to, or an extremely hard mastery badge. If they really wanted to. I don't know if they would. I don't know if anyone cares enough about it, but it would be a little bit funny if that happens. I might need to bring either the... Yeah, I'm going to need to bring the scaffolding over here. Yeah, they eventually start adding in PS3 games, and we're going to get some insane lists. You could actually probably make a really hard Fallout 3 list at that point, which is something I probably would do. I mean, the number of ways that I've beaten Fallout 3, I honestly don't think there's anything they could throw my way that I wouldn't be able to figure out in Fallout 3. I mean, I beat the game on very hard using only a toy knife, which should not be possible, but I did it. So I can't really imagine them actually making something... Well, I guess I've never done, like, get through the game playing only as a baby. That's one thing I've never done because you couldn't activate that glitch on the PS3 version. So I guess I probably should not say some of that stuff out loud because I don't know what they actually could throw in to make it harder. Beat the game on very hard as a baby or something, I could definitely see being a trophy or an achievement. I mean, a lot of other things like, you know, beat the game without killing anything or anyone. Well, you can't beat the game without killing anything, I don't think, because... Well, no, if you're allowed to skip main quests going forward, it should be fine. Because you can get out of the vault without it. Well, no, you have to kill the Radroach at the beginning, so... If they just allow you to kill the Radroach at the beginning, you can get through the rest of the game without killing anything. Just have to use good speech checks, so... Because you can skip... Well, no, you can't skip clearing out the monument of the super mutant, so I guess you can't skip that either, so I don't know what they would do for something like that. Maybe just limit the amount of kills you're allowed to get or something. Or I guess if you have a follower with you, a follower technically wouldn't count against you for the kills, potentially, so maybe that's what they want you to do. And they could have things like get the best possible ending, or the most, like, positive karma possible ending. And then they could do the same thing with New Vegas, but with, you know, the most insanely rare ending, where you actually nuke Vegas. Because there's an ending in Dead Money, I believe it is, that has that become the solution. It's not an ending I've ever triggered, because I don't like playing Dead Money, because the DLC is just obnoxious as all hell to get through. Especially on PS3. And, okay, that door's good. This lower area. Okay, yeah, that's probably what I'm missing with the roof, is probably just, like, something on the sides here that I haven't fully cleaned. I'm gonna hope that's what it is, or else I'm not really sure what else it could be. And let's get the other side of this pipe. Even that doesn't need soap, so this water's actually doing well enough on its own. And the interior of the pipe is good. Now it's just the upper exterior of it, as well as this light right here that's not fully cleaned yet. And right there. Right there. Get the light itself, unless it all... No, it all counts as one giant piece. Okay, never mind. I was assuming the light was its own little... The light bulb was its own little thing, because that's normally what you see in this game. Alright. And we got that done. Get the top part of this light. Got it. We're going to need to move the other thing a little bit closer to the wall here so we can actually get all of this cleaned. Okay. Any more of those things to clean? Potentially, yes. And yeah, we're just going to need to move the scaffolding over, so... And jump. Yeah, this is probably what I'm missing for the roof. This seems like a very dangerous way of crawling, but it's all good. Because there's no fall damage in this game. There's no damage of any kind that we have to worry about. Yep, that's the roof, so that's why it wasn't... Well, at least I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's probably what the issue was. Okay, so that makes more sense. I hope that someone out there watching this can fall asleep to this, or be relaxed to it, or just feel lots of ASMR satisfaction to it. And I still like everyone's idea from the chat from a couple of weeks ago of like, there should have been a special edition of the game, but it came with it should have come with an actual power washer unit. So you could actually go out and do this job yourself if you want to do. Still like what everyone said with that. That was actually a good idea. 100% would have bought that. Even if it was like $400 or $500, I probably would have bought that. Come with that and the suit and everything. This would be the first time you could ever actually have the chance to make money from just owning the collector's edition at all, not from having to sell it or anything later on. But just from the mere ownership of it. But there's still a little bit right there, so I'm going to have to get that from higher up. Trim right there. Alright, perfect. And that's good. The pipe is good. Alright, I think that's everything on this side, so just gotta go back to the roof now. Alright, yeah, the roofs are good for now, so just this part of the roof now is all that's left. And maybe a little bit on the other side as well. Yeah, if anyone else has played this game so far and actually, you know, gotten close to being done with it or gotten the platinum or just at least played it, definitely let me know what you guys think, if you are enjoying it the way that we enjoyed Powerwash 1. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed Powerwash 1 or else you probably wouldn't be playing this one. I'm loving it so far. I think the game just plays better than the original. I like all the new, like, nozzles and the soap changes and everything. Not really new nozzles, but just like the changes to the soap. Really, really nice. Very helpful. I like that the game is less strict about actually getting every single speck of dirt on every area cleaned. Like, you still have to get most of it, but it's a little bit less strict than the previous one. Even though it does seem like this one might have more jobs and more longer jobs, but I guess we'll find that out as we go on. I mean, I've seen people that got the platinum in like 28 to 30 hours, so I did it solo, so I guess it can't be that much more time consuming, if more time consuming at all, because I think that's actually less than the first game took. I might not be washing in the most efficient way at times, but it seems very fast to get through this playing it solo. And 91%. Perfect. Get every bit of speck of this roof that we can before we go off to the side. That was a bit of lag right there. Oh, I need to make sure I'm backing up my save, because I don't know if this game has any issues with save data corruption or anything like that, so I don't really want to risk having to redo everything over something stupid like that happening. I might need to use a bit of soap on this window, though. It doesn't seem to want to clean itself that easily. And that whole part. I love all the little graphics of things as they get cleaned in this one. But then, upcoming this week, in terms of like plans for videos and streams and stuff, this week should be a lot more normal. Hopefully going to be streaming something like Wednesday through Sunday of this coming week. Like, there would be more Powerwash, there would be maybe another random PS5 stream, finishing off Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, one more stream of Clock Tower just to finish off Helen's story and at least get that conclusively done. Then I go back and work on everything else while following a guide for everything. But I don't really know what the next Retro Achievements game I want to do is. Possibly it'll be SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, the version that actually has achievements. It's not super hard of an achievement list by any means, but it does have a few tricky ones, so could be an interesting choice for the future, for the near future. And then just constantly refreshing the page to see what new lists get released. Some days we get like 5 to 10 new lists releasing, so you never really know. On any given day, Freedom Fighters might drop, and if that happens, we're going to drop everything and play that most likely, aside from the new SpongeBob game, whenever it comes out on like a week and a half or 2 weeks from now. It's like a full 2 weeks from now, actually. It's on maybe November 18th. Alright, the little orange thing is popping up, which is good. That's a good sign. That means that we're close to being done. The window and the windowsill, perfect. Get the rest of the dormer. Get the rest of the roof. Alright, we're like an hour and a half in, which is crazy, because we've only finished one job and gotten one trophy, so hopefully we have another shorter job after this. This one's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I might not be cleaning in the most efficient way possible, but I feel like I've been making good time on everything so far. Unless I was just supposed to soap up everything first and then just use soap entirely to clean things up faster. Upper part perfect. Now it's really just the roof, which I fell off of course. Ooh, this door isn't done yet either. Now it is. That's nice. They added a little ladder feature on the outside of this thing, so you can climb up a little bit faster to the very top. We're at 96%, so about to hit that last 1% that always takes forever to find everything. I'm sure there's some on the other wall to my right that I haven't gotten done yet, so I'm sure there's going to be something we have to clean there. And 97%. Get this lower part. Still at 97%. Can't wait to see what the stock market will look like after Election Day. It should be interesting. We got a lot of crazy races going on this time. My parents don't live that far from Virginia, where a lot of stuff's happening. We shall see what happens, though. I guess it's November 4th, I think, so Tuesday is when they do all of them in all 3 states. It's Virginia, New Jersey, and California all have stuff going on, and Pennsylvania, so it's 4 states. It should be interesting. And, yep, that's good. So that dormer should already potentially be cleared. Yeah, I think the dormer's already clear. It's just this lower area. Got a bit invested in NVIDIA, like 3.5 shares of it. Oh, nice. So hopefully that keeps going up for you. Alright, 99%. Let's go. We are almost done with this job, thankfully. This one is taking, like I said, a lot longer than I was expecting it to. I'll be kind of glad when this one's done, move on to looking at something new. Okay, that side's good. That dormer's good. And these little edges, I'm sure, are going to be very picky later on, so that area looks good now, though, so we might be okay there. surpassed 200 now. That's good then. So yeah, hopefully it keeps going up. And that gutter still looks very dirty, so let's go ahead and start cleaning that out. Yeah, that's probably a lot of our remaining... Okay, that's going to be a bit annoying, isn't it? I feel like you can't position these things maybe quite as easily as you could in the previous game, or the game's maybe just a little bit more picky about some of it. I guess they're also trying to simulate, like, all of this being, like, leaves and stuff built up, which is kind of funny. It makes the gunk look different. And then, you have to, like, climb the whole thing in this game just to be able to jump out of it. It's a little bit harder to get out of it. Do a little bit of parkour to do so. Alright, that should be getting a good chunk of it done. Yep, there's the roof and the gutter. Not missing much now. Column. Okay, let's get this column cleaned up. Perfect. And this wall right up here, I know, still has something left. Alright, put that up. And perfect. And perfect. Alright, so what is even left at this point, though? Told to be at 225 once he does his thing. I guess we'll have to see, though. Scissor lift is not... Let's just bring this one over. Aha! A couple little spots right in there. And right in that crack as well. Ooh, and that corner isn't cleaned yet. Perfect. Ooh, there's still quite a bit left on that. Okay, so that's half of it. What about this side? There's a little spot on top. Perfect. There's a window over there that isn't quite cleaned. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to move over to there. Huh, what am I missing on that then? Alright, bring the scaffolding over again. And this pillar's not clean yet, so that's fine. Let's get it done real quick. Alright, 3 objects left. Let's go. We're almost done with this job, finally. Two to go. The silo. Oh, okay. I didn't realize the silo was even a job here. Apparently it was. Okay. So there were several of these that weren't quite 100% done yet. Okay. And now just the roof. So we're going to need the giant scaffolding back here for that. Thankfully, you can just basically pick it up and move it super easily. He'd enter at the time and other stocks have easily made out with 5,000, you know, would go up. Beyond meat stock 2 weeks ago, that went from a few cents to $7 a day. Hey, Robbie, managed to platinum power wash yesterday. Was a lot of fun back on Yotai now. Very nice. We're probably nowhere near being done if there's as many jobs in this game as I think there are. I think we got a fairly long way to go. Which is fine, because it's a great game. And done! Oh, I missed the dialogue. I don't know what they were saying in that. I missed that. That's fine. I've actually got Perrier instead of just sparkling water. My dad brought it, so that's always fun. Alright. There's a triple wash tool that you bought and used for most of it that works great. Okay, let's see if I can actually afford that yet. Because I haven't bought anything in a while, so... Alright, so we still need a heavy-duty washer is the problem. The E2 turbo nozzle... We need, like, the X2 turbo nozzle. I think the triple... Yeah, the triple's only when we get to the best power washer, though, unfortunately. Which we're a good ways away from that. Yeah, we're a long way from the 2 professional power washers. We're so close on this one, though. Can't wait to get that one soon. Or actually, you know what I can do? I can sell things and then buy this. Yeah, I forgot I can do that. The rest of this is expensive, but that's honestly fine. Alright, so we have an upgraded power washer. The Rock Climbing Park. It looks like that is our only current available job, so... I'm pretty sure this one has a trophy related to that pterodactyl. E.g., the powers be at Muckingham Council have gone all in with this newfangled Town of the Year competition, asked that we increase the availability of fitness resources. Did suggest a cessation of lawn cutting would increase friction and provide cost-cutting resistance training, but to no avail. Then the deputy warden, Indy, nudged me hard on the shoulder and showed me something extraordinary on their handheld picture slab, a complete outdoor climbing gym available for an absolute steal. Let's go! Wish DICE didn't patch trophies to use on portal lobbies. I hate that they did that, or made anything more annoying than that. Okay, we have to clean the pterodactyl first, which is what I thought, but... Alright, we have the Prime Vista 3000 now. Ooh. Okay, we have a scissor lift. I was about to say, like, how do we get up there? Nope, we got a scissor lift. Is that even tall enough? Dang. I hope I can climb up from here, because... that could be problematic. Alright. We gotta clean all parts of the pterodactyl. Which, at least we got this advanced washer, so that should make things a little bit better. Tier 3 washer, and in fact, let's just mark everything for the pterodactyl. Except for the perch and the perch pole. I don't know if those count. I'd rather just get the actual pterodactyl part of the statue first, and then we'll get the perch afterward. At least it's a clean thing first trophy, so it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, this one's working very fast, but we don't really have money for the other attachments yet, so... Ooh, that could have been bad. Okay, this job's gonna be annoying, isn't it? Yeah, I can see this job being a little bit frustrating to climb up this thing. At least to get up to the pterodactyl again. I mean, I don't think anything else beyond that's going to be all that much of a problem, but... very easy to fall off in this whole area, so... I don't think I could get a ladder all the way up here either, which is unfortunate. Can I get up onto the perch, maybe? Clean the booty hole, clean the back of the wing, clean the tail. Now the back of the other wing. Alright, that wing's good. Alright, that wing's good. What about the horn thingy sticking out of it? Midsection's good. Clean the legs and the feet. It's almost uncanny, ain't it, Dirt Fighter? How in keeping with Muckingham this facility is. It's almost like it's been commissioned specifically for us and not purchased from a bankrupt Hawaiian theme park. I'm not sure what screams Hawaiian about a pterodactyl, but... okay then, I'll take your word for it. Head still isn't fully... okay, we got it! Let's go! Hate bots and tanks. Oh, I'm sure that's annoying. Especially if they're actually good bots. Hey, Secret Underdog. It is going well. We just knocked out another trophy here. We're now cleaning a defunct part of an amusement park, apparently. We cleaned the pterodactyl, so that's at least a good start to it. Might just be better off, like, trying to work my way down on this one. Might honestly be the best bet here. I can see this being rather annoying. Yeah, probably just better off working my way downward, or trying to work my way downward. Problem is, this power washer, I don't think I have any attachments for it yet, so... oh no, I've got the short length attachment for it. Okay, good. Because this is our first heavy-duty power washer. It's the first thing we have that can actually clean, you know, tougher things. Yeah, I think I might just be better off trying to clean from top to bottom here, in all honesty. And get this other pole. Perfect. Yeah, this washer is significantly better, significantly more efficient. Let's see what we can clean with the white and green nozzles. See if we can get much of it with those. If we can, it'll make this a little bit faster. Alright, even the white nozzle seems to be pretty good on this. Yeah, it is going well. Just doing more power washing, enjoying it a lot, even though that barn job took a lot longer than I thought it would. I think that's kind of a weird noise that it makes in the background sometimes. Yeah, the white nozzle's actually working perfectly fine with this washer, so nothing's just stuck on there insanely too much, which helps. Get another ledge. Alright, we're up to 4%, not too bad to start. If another job becomes available, I would jump over to that and then go clean more of this later on off stream. It would make more sense. The white nozzle's working perfectly fine for this, so I'm definitely happy about that. Definitely was a good purchase. And now let's start cleaning off this giant rock wall. Alright, yep, it's making a little bit of progress on it. Might need to switch over to a different nozzle, though, because we can't reach the ground or anything yet. This whole thing's looking better already. Even only 6% of the way in, it's already looking a lot better. Alright, another thing cleaned. Need that dopamine from those dings going off. Is always nice. Alright, yeah, the floor is going to make up a lot of this at least, so... yeah, getting big areas of the rock wall. I have not climbed a rock wall in ages. I did a couple of birthday parties at a place for rock climbing back when I was younger. Like indoor rock climbing stuff. That was always fun. Did a laser tag at times. I remember the good old days of birthday parties. I do all sorts of random stuff back then. So I remember that really fun one we had with that one friend when, there was one party we did, it was really, really fun. It was the one where it was like, I kept one flashlight that allowed us to stay up super late when the parents confiscated all the other ones and just play games and stuff, so that was a good time. Back when we were like 8 or 9 or 10 years old or something. Good times. For all the parties that I did for a couple of years where we would just stay in a hotel, like me and a few friends, and like enjoy the pool there, watch a couple of movies, and have just massive Nerf gun fights. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. We had so much fun with that back then. Yeah, those were some of the most fun parties I did. Alright, so there's not much more else to say about this one. This is just another pretty straightforward job. Like I said, the white nozzle's working pretty well for this. It's making it go a lot faster, already almost 15% of the way there. But I'm going to have to jump back onto Fallout 76 again pretty soon to keep working on that guide. I'm still an update or two behind where I need to be. And then, of course, we got the big update coming in a couple of months, actually like 1 month from now, into Ohio. We'll find out if I actually had anything accurate, which actually I'm willing to bet that that's going to be good for the video that I did of that lore, because you're going to have more people looking up Ohio in relation to Fallout. And I did that video of it, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll pull in some extra views, and I can work on the videos for potential lore for a couple other states. This next one I'm going to look at is Florida. Super excited for that because I think that one could end up being a pretty good video. And then probably New York. And then I got to figure out maybe one more to make. Part of me wants to do Texas, but at the same time, Texas is technically in Brotherhood of Steel, and we're not sure if that's considered fully canon or not, so figure that one out. If I don't do that one, I'll do some other fairly big state, like Michigan maybe. Men's squads, home. Maybe Louisiana, because people talked about the idea of a Fallout New Orleans. Could be interesting. Or maybe another small state somewhere at some point. A lot of Midwestern states left. There's also some parts of the West Coast, like Hawaii and Washington State. They're just never mentioned. But gotta start working on those for the release of Fallout Season 2 when it starts coming out. Can't freaking wait. Even though this time around it's all going to be releasing like on a weekly basis instead of all at once, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And is quite unfortunate because it means dealing with people complaining about potential lore changes every week for 8 straight weeks, or however many weeks the episodes end up being. I'm assuming it's an 8-episode season, but it might be like a 10-episode season or something for all I know. Because I know that people were already slightly pissed off at least about some of the promotional posters for it. Because it had Lucy surrounded entirely by Legion soldiers, which, if you actually played Fallout New Vegas and knew the lore, you would know is not at all impossible, even if the Legion was defeated in the main game. Because I'm still thinking that it's going to end up being something along the lines of the Mr. House ending, because Mr. House, I'm assuming, is going to play a role in Season 2, given what we know about him from the end of Season 1. It's almost certainly going to play a role in Season 2. So I have to assume that that would mean the Mr. House ending. Though that wouldn't necessarily make sense with the Brotherhood, because the Brotherhood has obviously had a massive resurgence. And it's also going to mean that with the Legion being there, it means that we can debunk the theory of the Brotherhood defeating and absorbing the Legion, which was a popular theory for Season 1, as to why they sort of had a resurgence, but I think we're going to be able to count that one out pretty soon. And why they were so dickish in the first season of the show compared to even how they are in New Vegas, in all honesty. Yeah, I suspect it's going to end up being the Mr. House ending is going to end up being the canon one, the more I look at it. Then there was also a thing where, the volcano type of this boulder park is a classic stratovolcano, just like Rushless, highly explosive, with fast lava flow that doesn't travel far before cooling. Okay. Geology lesson for anyone out there that cares about geology. I certainly don't, but I'm sure some people out there do. So yeah, other people were mad because there was a photo of one of them. It was either the Ghoul or Maximus in with a bunch of other ghouls that were the kings. It's like all the kings turned into ghouls, which could make sense if they go the very dark idea of New Vegas having been nuked to any sort of degree, so I'm going to be very curious about that. I can't wait for it. A little over a month away, month and a half away. And it's also nice because I get Thanksgiving and Black Friday off, so very surprised they would give us Black Friday off. I thought for sure they were too greedy to allow that, but I have Black Friday off, so get a chance to work on some stuff over the Thanksgiving weekend, probably. Hold on. That was weird. OBS disconnected for about 3 seconds. If you see any stutter in the video, that's what happened there. That was really weird. Yeah, OBS just randomly disconnected for a few seconds. Hopefully that doesn't disrupt the video or anything like that. Alright, we're 25% of the way through the job. Let's go. Probably won't be playing anything. Yeah, I mean, really right now it's just going to be me playing this and then just whatever I decide to play for retro achievements and Death Stranding whenever I eventually have time for it. I don't know, life's just been busy recently. Yeah, life's just been busy. Even though there's nowhere near as much concern with watching college football anymore now that we've completely shit the bed on this season. And probably permanently, so... And that leaf can somehow hold our weight, which is always nice. It's like those giant palm trees in Super Mario Sunshine. Oh, are each of the leaves separate? Yes, they are. Wonderful. Alright. The tree itself is good. Kind of just left gaming behind recently. Started worrying about stuff like college and making bread. Fair enough. For me, it's been fun playing the retro games, but I've been focusing so much on trying to edit a lot of stuff. That's taken up a lot of time. Work, of course, takes up a fair bit of time. Even just television, there's stuff to watch on there. I've got a whole season of Amazing Race and Survivor going on, and I'm just, like, stockpiling episodes to binge watch them later on. Although once those are done, I won't have too much to watch on TV at the end of this season, so just be waiting for the start of Fallout Season 2, and what's the other one I'm looking forward to? There's one other one, but I'm blanking out now. Oh yeah, that's right, it's the Malcolm in the Middle revival. They're doing a 4-episode miniseries revival of Malcolm in the Middle, which is a wonderful classic show. And it comes out in December. It's a basically a sequel. Whereas Hawaii, as you know, is full of shield volcanoes. Sir, I don't know geology. I don't care about geology. I am not a geologist. They have a slow flow rate and are less explosive, leading to the gentle slopes that cover a wider area. Great. Go tell it to someone who actually, like, understands or cares about geology. Was it a Hawaiian theme park? I demand a refund. I don't really think most people care enough about that. Let's go with Legos now. Crazy how bad the addiction is on them. But yeah, the Malcolm in the Middle, I completely almost forgot about that. That we're getting a full 4-episode revival on Disney Plus. Comes out in December. Now, I don't have Disney Plus. I don't plan on buying Disney Plus, but I will download like a week-long free trial of it so I can just watch that. So I'll be curious to see what they decide to do for it. That is a classic, legendary show. Although I do know they brought him back a little bit after the end of Breaking Bad, and they did an alt ending on Breaking Bad's DVD collection that basically made the entirety of Breaking Bad a dream, dreamed up by Hal from that show, which was an interesting idea, which obviously that's not the canon ending, but it's just a thing that they came up with as a special extra for the DVD. Gotta find some Lego minifigure lots of good stuff at a cheap price. I feel like that's what everyone wants these days, though. It's funny how the Death Star only has like a 2 out of 5 rating. The giant Death Star with that costs $1,000 has a pretty bad rating currently. It's like 2 or a little bit over 2 stars. Which I don't necessarily blame people for it. But I don't think LEGO's going to get the message because a lot of people still bought it. So even if they're hating on it, they made money. So, you could also sell your LEGO Harry Potter displays if you wanted to. I don't really have anything I want to sell that I know of at the moment. You wouldn't buy it, got it as a gift, you just sell it all. Yeah, I mean, if I got it as a gift, I would be very tempted to build it, just because it would be such a unique thing to display. But it's not like I'm trying to display it to anyone, because it's not like I have visitors or anything like that, so... I guess, yeah, in that sense, maybe just be more logical just to keep it in the box and resell it. If I got it for free, then resell it even for like $900. Still a $900 profit. It's also kind of useless without the gift with purchase. That's like a TIE fighter or something. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people were pissed off about was the whole gift with purchase thing. You pretty much had to have that to have the set be complete when it was already that expensive. Or the idea that it has like 50 stickers, and they couldn't just do printed plates for that price, like really? Yeah, 50 stickers in a set like that is unacceptable. Yeah, get like a free $900, or would sell it instantly. Even used, though, it would still be worth money, so... I'd have to consider it. We're almost up to 40%, so hopefully another lore drop here. Alright, lore time. Goes with the flow. You sound just like who we need to clean up after our roller disco fiasco. Ooh, okay, so that's another job. Are we going to immediately have access to it now? Because that one's got a trophy tied to it, just like this one did. In all honesty, once I get certain trophies, it would make more sense just to clean the majority of these things off stream. Alright, let's clean these fake palm trees. I may need to switch over to a different nozzle for that. Seems to be a little bit high up. There's several you can buy with the money that you would spend on the Death Star, true. Still love gaming. I mean, I still love gaming overall, just don't always have as much time for it as I would like to have. And sometimes there's even just old games I want to go back and play, like still, I really want to keep playing through Ghost of Tsushima. I absolutely love the game. Connect more with it now that I've been to Japan. Alright, we just gotta get the top of that tree, so we'll get that here in a second. Most of this flooring should be pretty clear, though. Alright, get the outside of the tree, get the leaves from the outside. And the back of the tree. Now we're at 43%, not too bad. And now we're going to have to jump up on top of this to clean it. And everything else we can get from just a quick spray right here. Always good. Progress is progress. Buy an entire supply of Pokemon booster packs, stash them, or just get more stocks, or Lego sets. Very true. You could buy the used Death Star. Yeah, that's very true, actually. Just buy the old used Death Star. Actually, that would be a much better investment. Oh, it's a bit too far away. Ah, come on, are these leaves seriously not cleaned enough yet? Gonna have to do a bit of parkour here. No, we can't. Okay. Might just have to switch over to a different nozzle for those. Okay. About this one. Palm tree itself is still not fully clean somehow. I have no idea what could possibly... Oh, down here. Okay. Let's clean the dinosaur. Pokemon packs cost a lot. At least it didn't make the backside of the previous Death Star look like Deadpool's face. Very true. That was one of the big complaints I saw on the website when they were giving it the 2-star rating out of 5. Was just how bad the backside of it is. I think for that price they could have made it look a little bit more appealing. Head must count as a lot more because somehow it's still not fully cleaned. Alright, get the inside of the legs. Ooh, this whole area has a lot to go. It's probably the upper part that still needs the cleaning. Okay. Get the rest of the head. Head's good. That part. First leg is good. Alright, that part of him is clean. Now the tail, back legs. Get the underside of that tail and that belly and those legs. And this dinosaur is nearly cleaned. Backside of the tail. Midsection, almost done, yep. Floor should be good now. I think the actual body's done, it's just the little areas around here that still need a little bit more. There's a little spot right there. What about up here? Yep, a little spot right there. Spot right there. And perfect. Alright, another palm tree. Let's go. Lego, way too much for you. Time to build the Death Star. If you got it, already lost your mind. You're building the 2 big parts of the Hogwarts castle. Oh yeah, that's true, because people said it takes like 20 plus hours to build. If I won the lottery, sure, I'd have time for stuff like that, but I did not win the lottery, so I don't currently have time for stuff like that. We're approaching 50%. Alright, that's good. I just got to climb up to the top of this and clean the outside, which you can do from here. Well, potentially. And that didn't work. But I can climb back up fairly easily, so that's good. Okay, 1 leaf, 2 leaves. And the rest seems to be the interior. 3 leaves, 4 leaves, and all 5 leaves, perfect. Alright, how much can we get for this outer ring? Alright, yeah, we're definitely going to have to switch over probably to a different washer soon. I don't think this one's powerful enough. Alright, we're at 50%, and no new lore drops, unfortunately. Set with over 2,000 pieces was too much. Can't imagine 9,000 pieces. Very true, because I'm not sure I built a set all that to 2,000 pieces before. Maybe I have. And I might have by this point. I'm sure that I did sometime in my past, but it might have been a long time if I have done that at all. Alright, now this is starting to come along a little bit faster. Ooh, there's the abseiler thing, if we want to use it. Which it actually might be kind of useful in this job, just given the way that it's structured. Might as well build the one you got, because the box came in pretty damaged. I hate when that happens. Like, I've had 1 or 2 sets where the boxes came in, got shipped in, not in the best shape. That's the one nice thing. If you go to the Lego store, you can at least make sure you get a box that isn't damaged in any way. But going all the way to the mall just to go to the Lego store is a bit of a hassle. Plus, you never know exactly what they're going to have in comparison to the online stuff. Got mine for about 140 bucks. Paid less for the set. That's not bad then. And let's get around the abseiler here. We can also move it around. So that's what it's going to be used for. It's cleaning these walls. It actually makes a lot of sense, though. That should make these a lot easier to clean. 59. We're almost to 60% already on this job. Well, I say already, but it really isn't already because I've been here for a while at this point. Been here for a hot minute. Alright, let's get some lore. I'm not sure about these reptiles, though. They're not native to Caldera County, I don't believe. But India's tried his best to make them look like skinks and whiptails, so fingers crossed he gets away with it. Oh, so we're selling a fake version of Dinosaur Land. Is what you're saying with that. Reminds me of that Dino Land theme park from, like, Hey Arnold. That's the idea of dinosaurs in a big theme park is a big thing of it. Not counting like Universal with its Jurassic World, Jurassic Park areas. Alright, 63%. Almost done with another part of the ocean floor fake area. This job's coming along faster now that we're cleaning some more of this ground stuff. And okay, that was a bit of lag. Perfect. Well, we still got all these walls to clean, unfortunately, which is going to take a very long time. Even if we start using soap more on them, that's going to still take forever. Whatever's inside the box won't look the same as the outside of the box. Alright guys, I'm going to go pee real quick and I'll be right back. And we should be able to finish this job tonight. I would think so. I don't know if we'll get much further than that, though, and it's also randomly lagging there again, so hopefully that's not a trend. So I'll be right back. Just give me a couple of minutes. Alright, much better. Ooh, the roller disco is available. So if we want to, we can start on the roller disco. Which it might end up being beneficial for me to just switch between jobs a little bit. And then just finish parts of them off stream. This one's going to be a pain in the ass to finish on stream, just with how much random stuff we have to get along the sides. So I won't get any other trophies from doing it that way. I'll just get progress on the game, so I may end up doing that for both this and the roller disco. Get some more little volcanoes cleared out. Loving all the little dings, though. Nice and satisfying there for sure. We're actually nearly done with the ground area. As I said, after that, it's going to be climbing up these walls and stuff. It's going to be rather obnoxious to try and clean. 70% of the way there, but still another 30% to go, and it's a lot of verticality. Up to 71% at least, so get this lower area cleared. Alright, that's good. A little dopamine hit from a thing being cleaned. So I wonder if you wanted to be a power washer in real life, how would you know when you're done with any given task? Because it's not like this where it gives you a nice satisfying ding every time you finish cleaning something. Not sure how exactly you would know that you're done. If you might be able to guess at it, but I mean, if there's little tiny specks of dirt and stuff, is that going to dock your final pay? For anyone out there who's a professional power washer, if there are any professional power washers watching this, I suspect there aren't, but you never know. Or even just amateurs doing it for extra job. We're going to have to move the scissor lift here in a second as well. Kind of in a bad spot. Seems like it would be a fun place to go and play, though. Lots of just climbing opportunities. Especially if it's not too expensive to enter or anything like that. And I was never very good at most of those, like, climbing places or anything like that. I weigh a lot, and I don't have the best upper body strength, even though I know that some of it has to do with, lower body strength and the legs being strong. Using the hands more to guide you than anything else, but never was exactly a good climber in any way. Alright, yeah, we're going to have to get underneath the scissor lift here in a second, so get the rest of the floor cleaned up. Get the rest of the volcano cleaned up. And what else? Yeah, just move him to over here, I guess. Just get him out of the way. In all honesty, it's probably better just get it out of the way. Okay, that part of the rock wall's good. Itch on the neck there. And the caldera of this little fake volcano is cleaned. Get all the little rocks and stepping stones. And there's a palm tree over there as well, so... Ooh, yeah, it's starting to lag a little bit. That's not the OBS or anything like that, that's just the game straight up having a bit of lag. Which is highly unfortunate because the first game, I think, also had that issue at times on some of the bigger jobs. Okay, clean the inside there, get the outside. This little area. And let's get the rest of this water cleaned on up. This fake water. Perfect. Yeah, that's definitely the game. That's not the stream or anything. That's the game having some performance issues, which is highly unfortunate. I would have thought this one being just PS5 and whatever the current Xbox is and PC, it would perform a little bit better than that. Still have a tree to clean over there too, so... Let's see if we get any lore drops at 80%. Probably not, but you never know. Nope, no lore drops. Okay, didn't think so. Let's get the bottom part here. Alright, getting that nice ding going off on a few rocks. Always a good day. Okay, get the, okay, nope, missed there. Still think some of the sounds this game makes are a little bit strange. Sound like squishing on stuff or weird bowel movements, potentially. Get this outside area. Another rock, and another rock. Get the calderas and more rocks. And anything there? A few more of these need a little bit more. Okay, got that. A little bit up underneath the caldera. Perfect. Might still be missing a rock or two, but we can get those later. Yep, little spot right there. Perfect. Now we got a whole palm tree here to clean up. that I somehow didn't get previously. And lag, wonderful. And exterior there. That's good. There's the back of this. Can't really get a good climb on, so I'm going to have to use this instead. More stones cleaned. Perfect. These volcanoes are still not clean somehow. Thought I got them pretty well. Okay, jump to this. Nice parkour. Okay, that was a leaf. Another leaf. And more leaves, just a slow roll. Okay, that one's good. This one still needs it. Okay, nope, it's good. So that's all the palm tree stuff in this area. There's another rock that isn't fully cleaned. That's a climbing face done. Ooh, still quite a bit left here, actually. Several rocks. Several parts of each volcano still somehow aren't clean. And then it's just the whole side of the main volcano tower area. A few more stones, that ground area. Alright, that part looks good. This all looks clean enough. This whole area looks good for now. And just to get that part. Let's see if we can get up to about 85% here before we just switch over to the other job, and then I finish this one off stream. Because in all honesty, some of this last part of this is going to take absolutely forever. I'd rather just make progress on multiple jobs than I can just do the rest of them off stream, except for like the last 1% of them. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do a lot of this game, because some of these jobs are going to start taking longer and longer. And that way I don't have to stream cleaning every single pixel of it. Nope, not quite. Still a little bit more around the outside. And it's at least coming off pretty quickly with this upgraded washer, but it still takes absolutely forever, so it'd be better to cut out some of this than to show every single second of it. And we're up to 85%. Perfect. See, I hope no one's mad about that decision, but I think it's going to speed things up if I just sort of switch between jobs a little bit more and get this to like 99% clean when we come back to it. Do it off stream for a little while. Same with the roller disco once I get the trophy there. I think it'll just be the easiest way to get through some of this. Oh, look at that. I actually missed part of a palm tree. Hang on. Oh, I missed that. Well, it's kind of hard to climb it, so I guess that's why. Okay, we made it up top that time, thankfully. And of course that happens, but should be able to get the interior of at least one of these. And the bottom of the tree, perfect. So that's a completion. Okay, I might need actually a ladder for that. Now that I look at it, that might actually require a ladder. Alright, we're up to 86%, so I think that's good enough for now on this job. So let's go see the roller disco, which is apparently just as big, if not bigger, because it's worth more money. Okay, then. Let's see what the trophy is for the roller disco. Oh, it's right here on the screen. Clean the glitter ball first. Okay, easy enough. Unless it's in a really awkward, dumb position. Ooh, yeah, this is gonna be a big one. I'm assuming that, yep. Wait, is it supposed to be called that? Is it disco ball, or is there such thing as glitter ball listed in here? Okay, so it's gotta be this then. Yeah, it's gotta be this, so... I mean, it is a glittery ball, so... Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of dirt in this area, so... Kind of an awkward shape as well, which doesn't help, but not a huge deal. Backside of it. Come on, it's almost 100% done. Let's get another trophy done. Get another trophy. Come on, get me a trophy. Give me the trophy. Give it me the trophy. You know what? We can also use this. Oh, I don't have the soap nozzle on this, do I? Wonderful. You have to move the scissor lift around anytime you want to use it. Or lower it. Yeah, I do not have the soap nozzle for this yet, unfortunately. Probably like one or two little pixels somewhere that aren't quite clean. Got it. Make it all shine. And got that part done. Alright, so this is about to be a massive, massive job to clean up. Yeah, we're definitely going to be better off doing the remainder of the previous job and parts of this one off stream. Broke the news to everyone. There were scenes. I'll explain. Oh, the floor's already looking like 10 times better, and we've already cleaned to 1%. Give it up for 1%! Give it up for 1%! Can I see 2? I see 2%. Give it up for 2%. Imagine you have just Mr. Krabs coming in here and saying that every single time you clean something. Have that added in as a mod or something for this game, because I'm sure this game has mods on like PC and such. I'm sure someone out there would do that. Ooh, so this one is definitely going to need soap. Yeah, who knows what some of these floor substances actually are. They're definitely going to need a bit of a deeper cleaning in some places. That's for sure. Yeah, you don't want to come in here with a black light. You'll probably be scarred for the rest of your life if you do so. Still trying to figure out exactly how an interior space like this could get so dirty, so I don't know if that's going to be covered in the lore drops here or not. Let's see if we have anything new we can buy for this washer. We should have some money. Yeah, we have almost $1,000, so... we can buy that back if we want it, but that's not really helpful. Let's get the soap nozzle. Soap nozzle is going to be very helpful here. Sell that back and buy... we can't afford that. Sell that back and get the extension. Like I said, we're going to get so much money, apparently, upon completing the game that we should be fine just doing this. And now we can soap it up. Just spread the soap all over the place. Yeah, soap is way better in this game than it was in the first one in terms of just like, you get it infinitely. It shows exactly what still needs to be cleaned, even if it doesn't immediately clean it the way it sometimes did in the previous game. And you just clean it up with the white level nozzle, makes it a lot easier. Ooh, I wonder what they're sending. We got lots of games coming up to talk about, so... figure out what they're sending later. And that leaves the outline of that, but it's now cleaned. Really, the soap doesn't seem to make that much of a difference if you're up this close on some of this. Unless it's like a way more baked-in bit of dirt and grime. We're already 7% of the way through, which isn't too bad. Yeah, this is going to be a long job. It's the reason why it's worth so much money. Ooh, yep, all that area back there to clean. And this is not the biggest job in the game, by the way. I know there's like a giant temple we have to clean toward the end of the game. It's got trophies tied to it. So it definitely helps, though. It shows you exactly what you still have to clean at any given time. Floor is looking pretty good. The wall has a bit of work still needed for it, or a lot of work still needed for it. Okay, that part of the wall's good. And underneath the scissor lift is also going to need some cleaning here in a second. Alright, the floor is looking close to being done. Little area, another bit of the wall's good. Most of this liner now that needs more. Okay. Is that the entirety of the floor? Yes, the floor is looking better. 10% in, let's go. Alright, let's start soaping up this place because I don't want to know what some of these stains are here. I assume that's going to disturb people if we have to figure out what these stains are, so... let's just use... okay, so that's all that it'll let me use for the moment. It's like it snowed everywhere. And that's graffiti that's going to need to be cleaned, I'm sure. Yep, it is. Wonderful. That's going to need something a little more powerful, I believe. Even though the soap really didn't do anything with it, unless I didn't really get it that well. So are these just like extra decorations, or were these just trash that people have left around? I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely spots in here, though, that are going to need a nice soap touch-up. You're on over 1,000 revives at the moment, best doing bot lobbies. At least you're halfway there for one of the 2 trophies, and then a quarter of the way there in total. Ooh, yep, that's a lot of graffiti to clean up. Definitely going to need a more powerful nozzle for that. Though it is definitely already looking better as a building, so we can't complain about that aspect of it. Looking cleaner, long way to go, but definitely looking better. That's the only multiplayer trophy you got left, so only to play the campaign. At least the campaign seems to be pretty easy, because it's like, there's one trophy for beating a mission on the hardest difficulty, and the rest of it you can do on the easiest difficulty. Seems pretty nice. Yep, we got some very suspicious-looking stains across the floor, so... let's spray lots of hot white foam all over the place. Like that one episode of South Park. Looking much better. And that ceiling is going to take a lot of work too, isn't it? I can already kind of tell. Man, seriously, even when I suds this up, it doesn't fully clean it. That time it did. Yeah, this is a lot of little stains, so believe what you will about what each of these stains are. I have ideas as to what at least some of them are. And we are getting some horrendous lag suddenly, so that's not a good sign. It's definitely not a good sign. This thing should not have performance issues on a PS5, if you ask me. And it's already looking so much better when you just do like a semi-straight line through here, even though it's not even a straight line at all. I don't know if it's just doing that whenever it's trying to save or what. Like if you turn off the autosave, would that stop it from doing that? Ooh, here we go, some story lore time. Corner by the high tables is where James has been running her community kitchen. Not only is her cooking incredible, but her language is even spicier than her hot sauce, so kids are like moths to a flame. You have someone serving the community, I guess. She found out that we refurbed the diner on the corner of Ellison Street. She went wild and cooked up a feast for half the town. Ooh, a diner's always nice. Good meal from a diner. Can't turn that down, even if the diner turns out to be Waffle House, because Waffle House is still delicious. As a Southerner, I'm the only one that understands that, probably out of this group. It hits the spot in certain circumstances better than just about anything else can. And we're over 20%, which is good, so at least progress is being made here, even though it's going a little bit slowly. Get these doors clean. I'm assuming these are the bathrooms. And I don't know if I want to know what some of these stains end up being. Alright, that bit of the floor looks better though, but we're still seeing tons and tons of lag. I need to see if that's a common issue or what, because that is potentially going to be very annoying on some later levels, because I'm sure the levels are going to get bigger. I'm sure there's some really big levels toward the end of the game, so... Okay, those doors seem to be good. I think it does have something to do with the saving, but I'm not entirely sure. Even so, having the autosave on is probably the right thing to do just in case the game crashes. Skate! I haven't been to a skating rink in years. Maybe like 2017-ish, I think was the last time I went to any sort of a skating rink. It was like a rollerblading rink. It used to be a pretty fun thing back in the old days. Now most of them are probably closed down. Just aren't popular anymore. Which at least things like bowling alleys are still popular and some arcades are still out there. Especially like adult-themed ones. Or adult-oriented ones, I guess you could say. Some of the clawcades are growing in popularity. I'm still shocked we don't have a round one around here in terms of arcades. Like, 'cause we have a Dave & Buster's, we have a Spare Time, we have a Frankie's Fun Park, we have a Main Event. And we have a Chuck E. Cheese somewhere, I'm sure. At least I think we do. I don't know. I haven't been to one in 2 decades, but regardless. I do wonder, like, why we don't have a round one yet, because that's the Japanese-style claw machine arcade. So it has a lot of, like, really unique claw machines. There were a few of those over in Japan, and in fact, we went to one day just to play claw machines for... not necessarily for video purposes, just more birthday purposes. And won various prizes where I won some of my new Pikmin stuff at. But it's a claw machine-focused arcade, and I'm honestly very surprised we don't have one down here yet, given that we have all the other major ones. I don't know, maybe someday. We got all the other stuff around here, so hopefully we get that someday. We're growing enough, it might happen someday. Probably will happen. Okay, one of these signs isn't clean yet. I think it's, yeah, it's top of it, okay. Alright, let's start cleaning this part of the ceiling. Should get lots of completion here. Most likely I'm just going to call it at midnight. So that's like 15 minutes from now is probably what I'm going to call it. And whatever's left of both this job and the Dino Park I'll just do off stream, or I'll get it to like 99% and then just finish it on the next stream. Just so that we save everyone some time on some of these, because some of these jobs take absolutely forever. And we've gotten the trophies for them, so might as well just sort of speed things up for you guys, make it a little bit less boring, hopefully. Then again, we're maintaining viewers here, so clearly someone out there is interested in watching someone else power wash things. So I thank you guys that are sticking around to watch this. I'm glad you find it interesting. Or if there's anyone here just hoping that I crash out playing Powerwash Simulator, I can promise you that's the one game where it's not going to happen. There's literally no way you could crash out at this game. Alright, up to almost 30%, so let's see if we get some more lore here. Come on, can we get some lore? A little bit of lore. Give me a lore drop, maybe? No lore. Okay, well, this area doesn't seem to be all that important to the lore of this game so far. I'm just more curious as to how it got so dirty. It's like, there's no logic to that. How the hell does an indoor area get this dirty? Especially if the volcano isn't currently going off. I am not a fan of that lag, though, and I really hope they fix that soon, because that has me worried for the game crashing or something at some point. Ooh. I can turn on the turntable. Cool. I wonder if that's going to somehow be copyrighted. Knowing my luck, it probably will be, so I'm going to turn that off just on the off chance it is. It might not be, but with my luck, it probably will be. No need to take unnecessary risk. Speakers are looking pretty good. It's just some of the exterior areas that still need more. Disco ball needs a little bit. And this whole area is looking so much better, though. That's one of the most satisfying things about this game, to see what these places look like once they're actually clean. How normal they tend to look. Excellent. We got clean floors. Cleaner floors. They're not Japanese quality floors, but they're cleaner. Now let's get this trimming area cleared. And we get this underside. That's much better. Now let's get another speaker cleaned on up. That little area right on top cleaned. Get its little stand cleaned. If I can get to 50% by midnight, that'd be great. I don't know if I'm quite going to get there, though. Come on, like I said, I'd love to get to 50% tonight, even if we don't quite get there. At least 40%. We can definitely get to at least 40% unless something goes horribly wrong. Okay, these speakers are nearly cleaned. Also, I'm pretty sure all this water going into them is probably going to ruin them. I'm not an electronic engineer or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Pretty sure that's how the science works, but then again, this is also a game about simulating power washing, so I'm not really sure they care that much about that aspect of science. These stairs cleaned up, perfect. This underside cleaned. And get this pink area of the wall cleaned. Pink, orange, slight yellowish, some areas. Okay, that part looks a lot better. Get another corner cleaned up. And a photography station, photo booth. 36%, so that's good. Oh yeah, it sure is a photo booth. Haven't seen one of those in a long time. Let's get the outside of this thing cleaned up. Get the floor nice and clean. Get this interior wall. Get the stairs. Okay, stairs are good. And there's still a couple of things left on this whole speaker system here. Actually, quite a few things left up here, being honest. Now we get part of the ceiling. %. Alright, like I said, hopefully we can get up to 50%, but we only got a few minutes left, so probably not going to happen. Switch over to the green nozzle for a second. Nearly got this part of the ceiling done, which is good. 39%. Let's see if 40% can at least get us a lore drop. Come on, let's get a lore drop here at 40%, please. Make all this lag and stuff worth it. Yep, we're getting a lore drop. Hang on. By the DJ booth is where Tony's been running his bird sanctuary. He gets everyone involved with that. Okay, that's not what I was expecting from lore. Every Saturday morning you'll see him lead this long line of kids down the street, all doing this bizarre head-flexing pigeon walk. It's like a precursor to weapons or something. We found that he was going to be hitting our new community wildlife center. His jaw nearly hit the floor. Yeah, is this like in the universe of weapons or something? He decided to launch his pigeons into a celebratory flyover. It's like the birth of the universe in here, pure chaos. Oh, so that's why it's so dirty. So he let his pigeons loose in here, and they just shit all over the place, presumably, is the storyline of this area. Okay, you know what, I guess that's reasonable, given what we've seen from these games so far, in terms of lore and such. Guess that's not exactly unreasonable for lore in this franchise. Although the fact that they got every single corner of every room this dirty is a bit surprising. Get every bit of this wall. Still only at 41%. We haven't seen another job unlock yet, which is fine. This is going to be the last one we do tonight anyway. Okay, camera's cleaned up. Yeah, this is like an old school place. This reminds me of something from like the 80s probably, or 90s. And we get this whole random design here. From like the 80s. So yeah, this is like an 80s time capsule almost. Alright, that whole area is cleaned up. All of that's done. Alrighty, so it's about midnight here, so I think we're going to call the night here. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Plans for this upcoming week. I do plan to hopefully stream something like Wednesday through Sunday of this week, so like 4 or 5 days in a row. Or at least like 4 out of those 5 days we should be streaming. Might be busy like one of them, but that's the current plan. More Powerwash, of course. Maybe Death Stranding, but most likely Powerwash. And then just the stuff on Retro Achievements. We gotta finish off the Scooby-Doo game. Do one more stream of Clock Tower just to get us through the end of the Helen playthrough. And whatever else ends up releasing on there in case any other like major games end up getting a random release. Because again, if something like Freedom Fighters drops out of nowhere, or Rock Power Beach Bandits or something, that's going to be something that I immediately start playing. Something I immediately want to start doing and get an early completion on. So yeah, off stream, I will get both this and the previous job, the Dinosaur Park, up to a pretty high completion percentage, so that we don't have to worry about doing them entirely on stream. So that'll cut out at least a little bit of the time in future streams. But we won't get any trophies off stream, so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you back here on Tuesday for the normal weekly trophy achievement update, and then hopefully back here Wednesday or Thursday for our next stream. So, see you guys then.